Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 3 Remastered. This is 115 speaking. Oh, vultures are approaching. But look at this gorgeous environment. We are, of course, in the Nevada desert, the first level of the Nevada chapter of the game, and this level has to be one of my favorites of the entire game. I actually don't know if it's the level that I like the most of the game. There's a very strong contender towards the end of the game, but I love it nevertheless. We are gonna get our hands on all 3 secrets, on all 3 crystals in this level, and on the remaining 28 goodies. We're also gonna land all 29 kills, but with a bit of a caveat. So first and foremost, there are 3 achievements we want to unlock in this level. This is where we should wrap up the Rikki-Tikki-Tavi, because the remaining 14 snakes, rattlesnakes, are all in this level. Another reason to really do Nevada first, so that you can see if you succeeded with Rikki-Tikki-Tavi or not, possibly. It's a bit weird one. Yesterday when I was practicing for my PS5, guess what? It did not unlock, despite the fact I've never gotten bitten by a single snake. Then I did the same thing on my good old games version of the game, and it did unlock. So I am a bit confused as to what will happen on the Steam version of the game, and the fact that, again, a major patch was released mid-playthrough with this achievement that could potentially mess and complicate things up. We'll see at the end of the level, at the end screen, if this achievement will unlock or not. Pertaining to the kills, there's another one called Lost Souls Are Forgiven. Yes, these are indeed the Lost Souls from Doom 1 and 2. There's going to be an enemy type wearing denim jackets with these emblazoned on their back, and we are to ignore all 10 of these hoodlums. Now I have a theory as to who these guys might be. The achievement calls them dem workers, but I disagree. I don't think these are government employees at all. I think these are maybe activists trying to break into Area 51, watching UFO newspaper clippings and sightings and that sort of thing, more on the extreme side. At any rate, we are not to touch these 10 enemies. Thankfully, it's very easy to make a level end save, unlock the achievement, then reload and scoop up all the kills. Okay, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing because I want to land all 29 kills. And finally, there's an achievement called Amphibian Woman, where we'll need to press 4 underwater levers in a very quick succession in one breath without dying, and I'm going to show you how when we reach that point. Okay, so first and foremost, let's take care of the vultures. Now these guys are exactly the same as the ones we encountered in River Genghis. Okay, so I'm not going to be taking a picture. They are identical after all, still that impressive wingspan. However, what is new is the rattlesnakes. But you know what? I'm not going to take a picture of this one, but the one around the corner, because next to him is also a rocket lying. And you know what? Why not to also capture the rocket in the original and remastered detail? I think that could be pretty damn cute. Okay, thankfully, as you can see, these guys are much smaller than cobras, so it's far more easier to avoid them. Let's do it like this. Yeah, it's perfectly bright in the original graphics, but not so in the remasters. Now let's just take a step back just to be sure. Now guys, I might be blind, but look at the health bar. We did not get bitten, nor did we get poisoned. Apparently you can get bitten by the snakes without being poisoned. I've seen people mentioning this online, but that wasn't my experience. Each time I got bitten by a snake, that was it, guaranteed poison. So I'm not sure what to think of that. But anyhow, let me show you the way to the very first secret behind this pushable block, but we'll be using it to go back, okay? Do not push it in. Instead, we'll be pushing it the other way. Make sure to drop down here. Now, let's take a step. I just want to get far away from the rattlesnakes to be absolutely sure we do not get bitten. There are 2 more for our shooting gallery entertainment. Okay, and another one. That's it. So what the secret does contain is very humble. It's a small med pack, box of flares, a crystal. But on our way back with the pushable block, you'll actually discover shotgun shells, which is a lot of fun. Now, any kind of ammunition pickup in this level is not really exciting news if you're playing the original version of the game, because the moment you finish this level and you start the next one, your entire inventory will be gone, replaced instead with a small medpack. So it's not really a small medpack that will carry over from the ones you have, it's a completely new one that will be given to you as a bit of a sorry by the developers. But all your collectible crystals will be maintained. If you're playing the original PS1 version, that is a good news because those are safe crystals. Just look at this place. I mean, it was gorgeous even in the original, but the remasters, they really done something spectacular. And watch this. There's a jet flying by. How awesome is that? Oh, you know we're taking a picture of these things. Now, I don't think we can go really any higher than that, so let's do this. I also want to grab the rock formations in the background. Oh, interesting. So its position is a bit different between the graphics toggle. Okay, so let's align it a bit. They had these red windows in the original. Interesting. This is far more realistic. Wow. Just wow. You know what? I probably could have also checked out what they look from the under, but don't worry, we will get another opportunity. Watch out for rattlesnake over here. The sound cue warns you, although Lara will start aiming at it even before the sound cue sounds, so yeah. But it's always helpful to have these. Besides, the ones in Tomb Raider 3 always used to absolutely terrify me when I was a kid. They're very intense. But we didn't hear the worst one yet. It will come, oh yes. Now let's not forget the large medpack over here, and by the way, something I haven't really explained is, yes, this is a quicksand indeed. If this wouldn't be a photo mode where the game is paused, you could see it also moving on the surface, okay? I'm not really sure if it's possible to climb out of that one, but let's not even put that to the test, let's just avoid it, okay? Oh yeah, its surface is moving ever so slightly. Cool, this was actually later patched into the remasters because it was missing on release, which was a big bummer. Now, our objective really, because it's not really clearly telegraphed, is to enter the steel cube at the very top, okay? And dive into it. So many snakes everywhere. Yeah, 14 is no joke. Can we swan dive? Ah, goddammit, this is so difficult. Anywho, the steel cube is connected to a water tunnel that will lead us to a large sprawling canyon. But you know what? Let's let Lara's vision do the talking. Like she mentioned in Legend upon entering Ghana, she should be in the postcard business. Absolutely. I just didn't want to talk over that beautiful motif. I love how this single melody has so many variations in Nevada desert. But yeah, plenty of goodies around. There is essentially what I consider the most efficient way to navigate this, and that is to first get into the secret over here, the second of the level, get the goodies there, and then the only way out, unfortunately, because this ladder has a gap in here, you cannot go up, is to go down and explore the goodies in the river itself. Okay, so that's essentially what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna show you how to get back up and explore it, and we will actually get another shot of those fighter jets, which is pretty damn exciting. Ooh, okay, never too sure about this. Sometimes what happens, despite the fact you're pressing action and Lara using the grabbing animation in time, it will just not happen. But I have this problem on consoles more than on PC, for whatever reason. And our reward, the best ammunition type in the game, Desert Eagle clips and MP5 clips, also will come incredibly useful in South Pacific. Okay, and into the river we go. Now there are 5 goodies we need to think about. Now, on my screen it is fairly bright, but just in case I'm gonna light a flare because I don't know what kind of screen you guys will be watching it on. So first of all, there will be 2 pairs of Uzi clips, 2 boxes of shotgun shells and a box of flares. And once we'll start climbing out, there will be yet another box of shotgun shells. And all these pickups just felt so... I don't know, I felt so sad picking them up, knowing we're gonna lose everything beginning with the next level. But let's see how they improve things for the remastered version on the normal new game difficulty. Okay, so that's it. 5 goodies from underwater. Now there's 1 box of shotgun shells that we'll encounter very soon upon our climb back up initiative. Oh, and let me introduce you to one of the most nonsensical jumps in the game. So, you see that ledge over there? Do not grab it. Just make a running jump, and for some reason this will work. It makes no bloody sense whatsoever. And I remember being stuck here for quite a while until I just, out of desperation, figured this out. Okay, and this is sort of the 6th goodie from exploring the river that I mentioned. Yet another box of shotgun shells. Let's see how many we have. 16. Well, considering we're almost empty after defeating Tony, that's not bad at all. Okay, and now let's aim for that corner, Miss Croft. And of course, as we know already from the previous secret, this is absolutely a ladder texture, okay? What I love about this level is how it starts by throwing us into completely natural environment, and then as we progress and get closer to where we want to go, and that is of course the Area 51 Lara wants to infiltrate, so making the American government her enemy essentially, but she's beyond caring. That's essentially our destination, and as we'll be approaching it, it will get more and more industrial, which I think is just an awesome touch. Okay, so we are now retracing our steps, but this time, instead of getting into the secret, out of which the only way is down into the river, we'll get on top of it, okay? And we'll use this ladder to do so, although even if it wouldn't be a ladder, it would still work. And now, be careful. Oh, no need to use a shotgun, bit of an overkill, but yes, there is indeed a rattlesnake there. Okay. And again, I just saying, it did not bite us. I repeat, it did not. Let's see if the game thinks so as well. Now, the moment you make a jump here... Two of those fighter jets are crisscrossing. Now, we do get a shot from under, but... Okay, that's a bit of a disappointment. They're just completely blocking the OGs, and here you can at least see some paneling. But I don't know, guys. I cannot even go higher with the photo mode. I don't feel this is particularly screenshot worthy. But yeah, they just crisscross, which I find incredibly cool. Just a bit of a clues that we are approaching the right place. Now, when doing this jump, make sure to tilt Lara to the right ever so slightly, so that she'll start sliding with her back down, okay? Very important for you to be able to grab this ledge and shimmy. Oh, you know what will happen here, don't you? You've played Bartoli's Hideout. We, of course, need a detonator key. No, in Fada Stone, unfortunately, Lara isn't quite gonna cut it. So we can follow the wire and see a TNT crate, which is a nice throwback into Natla's Mines, I feel. But this time, it's connected by an actual wire. Now, very important thing, before we blow the crate up, pick up the box of flares here. Because if you first blow up the crate, you'll essentially be able to see the box of flares here, but they'll be behind such a tight crevice, you won't be able to re-pick them up, okay? So you just need to get that box before blowing things up. That's all. And now the same trick as the jump before the crystal, we just need to tilt Lara ever so slightly to the right. So she'll start sliding down, and yeah, we can shimmy. Now, I'm not sure if this was the intended way, because I just see a ladder down here, then a ladder up here. I guess this is how they wanted us to traverse, but I think my way is so much better. Besides, we'll be using this ladder to get back up to the detonator once we have a key, okay? Saying that, I have not saved yet, but I feel very confident, so what the hell. I'm gonna regret it later on. Now again, the devs seem to want you to shimmy using the ledge here, but again, I just have such a better idea. How about we don't do that, and we instead make a jump onto this ledge, and because the ceiling over here is diagonal, Lara's not gonna hit her head. She's just gonna sort of slide in, which is a trick we made great use of already back in Tomb Raider 2. But if you want to go the shimming way, you need to drop here and then backflip in time to land on this ledge. And now be very careful, do not make a perfect run-up distance, because Lara will overjump. We don't want that to happen. Okay, and now it's time for a secret. Safe to backflip if you make it all the way to the right. Let me show you why. A snake, of course. And we wanted to avoid getting hit there. And again, just like cobras, once they start flailing like that, it's all over. You can stop shooting. And there they are, my friends. The delicious, beautiful Uzis. On keyboard, number 4 is what summons them. I believe on controller, it's still holding the inventory key and using the Y button on Xbox controller or the triangle on PlayStation controller. Now, unfortunately, we're gonna lose them, and then it's gonna take ages before we find them again. So we might either enjoy them in this level, or I'm committed to just using my pistols up until we'll recover them and then another strong weapon, and then I'll initiate my no pistols challenge. So up until then, I want to conserve as much ammo as I possibly can, okay? Now this right here is a large, majestic water wheel that is unfortunately not spinning, okay? So what I want to show you is essentially how to activate it so it starts spinning, allowing us to progress further into the base. Now, the moment we step around the corner over here, we'll be ambushed by what the devs refer to as dam workers. Now, I cannot show them to you yet because they haven't spawned. But what I can show you is an elevator shaft over here. This elevator shaft contains an elevator cabin, inside which is the detonator key we desperately need. But in order to lift it up, we need to get the water wheel working. By the way, in case you're wondering, no, there is nothing over there. Okay, that was just an environmental detail. It's not like a bottom floor where we can descend. Now you can, if you absolutely want to, or if you're playing the original PC release, get a health refill, you can go for the crystal already. I do not recommend it. It is very dangerous because we'll be chased by two hoodlums, and it's very likely they'll push us down into the pit. And because we cannot kill them due to the Lost Souls Are Forgiven achievement, I recommend not going there yet, okay? Let's just sprint past these mofos and climb up, Miss Croft. Oh, thank God. Okay. Now, we didn't get a good shot or look at them, but, oh, we're gonna fix that very soon. So this right here is the Lost Soul I was talking about from Doom 1 and 2. It actually looked way better in the original graphics than the new ones. But unfortunately, these guys are sticking to shadows, so I can't really show you a proper picture. We'll get a better opportunity later on, don't you worry. For now, let's climb up this inactive water wheel, get on top, and also approach a location where I would like to save the game for the first time, because we'll want to unlock the Amphibian Woman achievement and not mess it up, and there is some specific sequence I have in mind which might seem counterintuitive. First of all, 2 vultures and 2 rattlesnakes to take care of here. Oh my God! Oh, these guys can take damage. Okay, we got clawed once, that's still fine. Okie dokie, rattlesnakes please. Okay, and by the way, these are not the final rattlesnakes. Like I said, there are 14 in this level, we need to be a bit more patient. Besides, Rikki-Tikki-Tavi doesn't unlock while you killing the final snake, it unlocks at the level end screen, okay? If presumably you didn't get bitten once, which, I mean, after what happened to me on PS5, I'm just not sure about anything anymore. So, let's refocus instead to the Amphibian Woman achievement. So the achievement asks us to press all underwater levers in one breath. I wish the achievement description would be a bit more helpful, like say, what does all levers mean? Because there's a mechanism in this dam, and no, this isn't the famous Hoover Dam, it's way more smaller, but there is a sequence of 3 underwater levers. One over here, and then inside this grate, there are 2 more, one above and one around the corner, right? So I thought to myself, okay, let's press all 3 and the achievement should unlock. No, you also need to press this underwater lever here, which unlocks a grate with Desert Eagle clips, which makes things significantly harder given Lara's limited breath, despite the fact she's an absolute Olympics champion athlete. So, the best way I found of doing this is, first of all, let me save the game here, just in case we'll mess things up. I think we've earned a save, approaching the final part of the level. And let us swan dive, because this will get you down really quickly. Press the lever, and I repeat, do not pick up the Desert Eagle clips, okay? Just leave them there. You'll be able to get them later on. For now, we just want to survive with our limited breath to unlock the Amphibian Woman. So, the trick really is just not to pick up the Desert Eagle clips now, but do it later. We will redirect water flow, but they will still be accessible even without all that water, which is awesome, that we don't need to make a reload because of the achievement. Now this one can be hidden, it's right here where you wouldn't expect it. And you know what, I'm probably gonna light a flare for you guys here. Let's go down. And then immediately as you go right around the corner, start holding the action key. So that, my friends, is it. We pressed all 4 levers, but for the achievement to unlock, we need to still make it out for fresh air. And there's an air pocket right above us. It should unlock before we even climb out of the water. There we go, Amphibian Woman, get into the waterlock control room by opening all levers in one breath. So that's essentially it. Again, I wish the achievement description would be clearer. What does all underwater lever means? It just took me trial and error to figure out that they mean all 4, not just 3, okay? Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful and will be easy to replicate in your own run. Now, as you can see, we're redirected the water flow. Do not swim there, you'll be taken by the current to the water wheel. That's not where we want to go now. Instead, you can see the path to the Desert Eagle cliffs we left lying behind blocked, but have no fear. We can just descend like a normal person. Like a woman instead of an amphibian woman this time. So there we go, and climbing up is just as easy, okay? So we got the achievement and the clips, which is absolutely awesome. Let's just climb up, and there is a series of very tricky goodies to get. Now, since we redirected the water flow, this area will be different than it should be in a sense, because this would be flooded with river, but now it's not, which I find really interesting. It's sort of the cistern level principle, and cistern is a level that I absolutely adore. Okay. And now, for perhaps the most difficult jump, there'll be a rocket behind a small waterfall on the right. Let me show you. Yeah. And for this one, I recommend making just a standing jump and not hit Lara's head on the ceiling. That's the tricky part. What really doesn't help here is the camera angle, which just doesn't cooperate. Oh my god, I cannot even see anything because of the running water. It seems Lara made a side flip, but I wanted to tilt her like this. Okay, so this can take you a couple of tries. Feel free to save here if you're not as arrogant and prideful as me. And a standing jump will have you covered here. And from now on, this is so much easier. This might look like a slippery slope, but thankfully it is not. And my friends, we have found the water wheel, which should now be fully spinning. This piece of the shore, by the way, is completely empty and pointless. Let's make it back there towards those strange guys in denim jackets. Now, this is where I pause the game with the photo mode, but without it, you would see the wheel spinning. Let me show you from a better angle. There it is. So this is awesome. Now, what this helped us do was it summoned the elevator shaft with the detonator key. That was the whole gist of this challenge. Uh-oh, lurking in the shadows ever so creepily. Let's just outrun these guys, because we cannot hurt them yet. And now, as you enter the elevator shaft, another guy will appear, but this time you are not in danger of being pushed down because the elevator is summoned up, right? That's why I prefer to do it this way. And we can also get our hands on this very familiar looking detonator switch. Oh, so it's not called detonator key, but detonator switch this time around. Interesting. But it's the same model like in Bartoli's hideout in Tomb Raider 2. Okay. Now, okay, you guys are... You know what? This is still too dark of an area for me to take a picture. Now, I'm gonna do it later on. I want to do you guys justice with your impeccable fashion sense. Okay. And now, what we gotta do is we need to go back into the canyon and ideally not get pushed down into the water, although if that happens, that doesn't mean you're dead. It just means you'll have to spend some time climbing back up, which is fairly annoying. Okay, and we outrun the bastards. So, using these series of jumps you can get here, let's also do something the devs probably didn't intend. We should be using that ladder to go down, backflip, that sort of thing. How about we make things easy for ourselves? And since this is still a ladder texture, we can do a drop and re-grab, okay? Miss Croft, please grab it. Okay, you almost didn't, but hey. It turned out fine in the end, that's all that matters. And now, I never ever like doing this, but we gotta grab the ladder diagonally. Okay, always nervous that if it will be 45 plus degrees, Lara will just not grab it and fall down to her death, which can very easily happen. And now we're gonna make things go boom boom. By the way guys, before you blow this up, remember to pick up the box of flares there. I'm gonna show you why and how it gets blocked if you don't, okay? Now we can side flip, or we can do something a bit riskier and go around like this, okay? So I think that was a lot of fun. And now what I wanted to show you is how the box of flares gets blocked. So there's a slippery slope, and what would normally maybe be even crawl space we could fit into, but not because of the rocks next to it, okay? So now what did we achieve by doing this whole adventure? We blew up a hole up here, allowing us to climb upon the debris, okay? Now no need to make a running jump, thankfully, due to the limited space. Standing one will have you covered. And on we go. Let's somersault out of here. I love this theme so much. So guys, we have found... No, this is not a prison camp. This is in fact a camp belonging to these guys. They are, like I said, some sort of UFO sightings, crazy conspiracy. I don't want to use the word activists, because activism usually does lots of good for human rights. These guys are... They're here to dig the truth, man. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck the government. Whatever they say, they cannot be trusted. They're gonna figure out if UFO sightings are real, and they're here next to Area 51. Unfortunately, they're not gonna do Naruto runs into it. But they still wanna bash Lara's skull. Now, these electrical light warnings are not here for fun. If you touch it, you're gonna die instantly, which is why I'm keeping my distance. It makes me really nervous. First of all, there is a little hidey hole, which will branch out into a high path and a low path. Please take the high path first. It will actually lead you into the inside of a attached water reservoir, where we have two underwater levers to press. This is a bit of an annoying back and forth, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of. First of all, there's a lever over here, which for some reason will not open the door next to it, and I have no idea what other purpose it serves, but normally, behind this door, we would enter a reservoir that we need to fill with water, but unfortunately this lever doesn't work. Thankfully, there's a backup lever elsewhere, but first we need to open up an entrance into the room that contains it. I wish this could just be the backup lever, but no, that'd be too simple. Wouldn't be classic Tomb Raider enough. Okay, so down we go. And now, no, this isn't about taking the low path this time or anything like that. We actually want to go back to the camp exterior area where we entered. And instead, we want to take a muddy slope down, okay? Okay, how do I want to do it without taking damage? I think this should be fine. Yes, awesome. Now, 2 final rattlesnakes, guys. Let's take care of them. Now, we did not get bitten in Temple Ruins, we did not get bitten in River Ganges, and we definitely did not get bitten in the Caves of Kalia, nor in the Nevada Desert. So if Rikki-Tikki-Tavi doesn't unlock after us killing all 40 snakes not being bitten, I'm gonna scream. But what I also want to show you, which I think is just really cool... Warning. Restricted area. It is unlawful to enter this area without permission of the installation commander. Security 21 International Security Act, and just lots of numbers. While on this installation, all personnel and the property under their control are subject to search. Use of deadly force authorized. Photography of this area is prohibited. Guys, you know what that means. We're definitely taking a picture. And you know what? I'd love to do it with Lara. Oh my god! There's a fighter jet! They really are enforcing that no photography rule. Okay, what I want to do is I want to take a picture of Lara, the jet, and the photography prohibited. But for this, I think we found the perfect pose. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. And if I could just zoom out a little with the field of view, that'd be wonderful. Okay, this one really does the job well, I think. Okay, Lara, you did something very naughty, but that's fine, because you're gonna do something even naughtier in the next 2 levels. So, my friends, this is the level exit. What we need to do to get beyond this fence is, in fact, A desert camouflage quad bike. Yay! Unfortunately, it's going to be really underused. Yeah, don't get too excited about an assault course like in Lara's Home or even the little bits and pieces like in River Ganges. Nothing quite like that. And it's also the final time we'll get to use a quad bike in Tomb Raider 3, which is such a bummer. I really just wanted a full dedicated quad bike level, and no, not like River Ganges where we constantly need to get out. Proper one. This is where Tomb Raider level editor will scratch an itch. That really does need scratching. Okay, now this is very stressful because remember, we are still not to kill any of these guys, but we need to again get to a ladder before they'll punch us. That's pretty funny. Okay, Miss Croft, you did it. Wonderful. Okay, let's just climb all the way up, and this is the water system, the water reservoir attached next to the camp I talked about. So these guys live here probably for ages, you know, keeping Area 51 under close surveillance. The entire reason why we wanted to flood this, and by the way, this is the tunnel we've been on the other side of, where this lever did absolutely nothing. What we wanted to do was fill it with water, just so we can reach the ledge here. Which, by the way, is not at all necessary if you make a really good jump, especially using the modern control scheme. Remember the jump we pulled off when coming back to the other shore in River Ganges? You can pull off the exact same thing here, okay? You don't need to fill this place with water, but I wanted to show you how the developers intended it to go. Now, inside this camp, things will be really scary because we are not to kill any of these guys for the achievements. So let me save the game here and show you what I think is the optimal way to tackle this challenge very gently. Okay. You will take some falling damage, but that is fine. Do not enter the hut yet. We'll get to do lots of exploring later on. For now, I don't think I've still taken any picture of these hoodlums. But you know what? I think it's far more interesting to do it from the back. Just to capture the lost soul from Doom 1 and 2. And again, they just looked so much better in the original graphics. What is this? It looks way too goofy. Anywho. Let's not get punched. Whoa, that was a close one. And there it is, my friends. A quad bike. And apparently a fighter jet, just having fun surveilling all this chaos. Now, there are Uzi clips over here, and one of these hoodlums in the warehouse also drops a small med pack. But what we want to do is we need to get on the quad bike without killing them, which is incredibly difficult because unlike the monkeys in River Ganges, these guys will run at you the moment you climb up. So we need to be really fast. Use the crates over here to slow their momentum down so you can outrun them. And be careful you don't drive over anyone, okay? Whoa, 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 whoa. Lara, Lara. No, 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 no. Oh, thank God we pulled it off. Now, on the roof over here, using the quad bike, we wanted to get our hands on this card over here, which says multipass, generator access. Okay, fair enough. Now let's leave the quad bike here, because this grate has risen, allowing us to get here on foot without the quad bike later on. What we want to do now, whilst being very careful not to hurt anyone's feelings, is to drop over here and enter the hut. Lara, jump over the pool table. Awesome. That's some serious parkour right there. And we are gonna unlock so-called generator access. Now, why do we need to do this? Remember what I said about the electrified fence? This will shut it off, even though it doesn't really have any visual effect or sound effect accompanying it. It will interrupt the best track of the game with a less impressive one, though. Yeah, yay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, this is brutal. Okay, that's not how you play pool, guys. Okay. So now what we did, we turned off electricity. It's finally safe to touch the fence. Now, why is that important? Because even this switch was electrified and unsafe to touch. But this way, we have unlocked the way out with our quad bike, okay? So... okay, we don't have much time. Remember, these guys can climb. Ah! Whew. Okay, now we're safe. They cannot pull this off. They're not Lara Croft. Oh, thank God. Okay. So, now what we gotta do is finish the level, but I am going to make another level save here because we need this save file to reload it and scoop up the kills later on. For now, all I want to see is that we unlock Rikki-Tikki-Tavi and Lost Souls Are Forgiven, okay? And I'm not going to show you the final cutscene of the level until we finish this level properly. But don't worry, I am definitely showing it. I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. Ah, we did it! Rikki-Tikki-Tavi, don't get bitten by snakes, Lost Souls Are Forgiven, kill no damn workers. Now this is a relief. Now guys, we are missing 10 kills and 1 pickup. One of these crazy guys actually will drop a small med pack, okay? That's why we are missing the pickup. And of course, there are 6 of them in the compound, 2 next to the water wheel and 2 next to the water tower, okay? So now I'm just gonna reload the game and essentially show you the most efficient way to get back to them and our final pickup. Alrighty, we are back. Guess what we're about to do? Oh yes, we're gonna give out some serious Darwin awards. Even the monkeys in the river Ganges were smarter. Now guys, before the major patch 4 this wasn't the case, they weren't quite as stupid. But alas, that has changed now, which actually made the Lost Souls Are Forgiven achievement a little bit more difficult. But hey, you can already see the final pickup, the small med pack, okay? So, let me park our vehicle right here. We have 4 more of these guys to take care of, in any brutal sense we want to. So first of all, let's get the small med pack, and also let's just take a look at their offices, because we've been in such a rush to run through them that we didn't appreciate the environmental and storytelling detail inside. So don't worry, I have you covered there as well. First of all, this is how chunky the pool table was before, far more realistic, but the original graphics sort of betray the fact that it's a solid block you can climb on, which is awesome. And this time they have the pool cue here at least as well. But what is it that's here? In the original I couldn't make out anything, but here it gives us a creepy face in the sand, the marking of the Area 51 with the same no photography warning signs, then a UFO in a giant hangar, and Area 51 map blueprints. This area is off limits, authorized personnel only, the rest I cannot read. And then an article from the Observer about aliens. You know, we have a similar magazine like that here in Slovakia, called Zem a Vek, or Earth and Age, where whatever conspiracy theories you could think of are there. Now, personally, I think it's extremely likely that aliens do exist. At the same time, I think it's extremely likely we'll ever come into contact. That's just my take on it. But what is here? No idea what's on that one. Oh, this looks like American Eagle on the cabinet, perhaps? Although it does remind me quite a lot of the Nazi Eagle. And then we have, yeah, just the repeated posters. So, and the generators. So these guys are not damn workers like the Lost Souls Are Forgiven achievement says. And the final cutscene at the very level end will confirm that, because there'll be actual military personnel from Area 51 at the very end. And they'll be wondering if Lara is one of those freaks, in a sense, right? So these are not damn workers. These are some not particularly successful Naruto runners into Area 51, is what's going on. But why they want to bash Lara's skull in, rather than, you know, trying to convert her over to join their initiative, I truly do not know. I guess just more violent people with their own compound and a sect-like behavior. Okay, so with that out of the way, we are now returning all the way back to a very familiar canyon, and the reason is simple. There are 2 of these guys next to the water wheel we have not killed yet, okay? So, by now you know the drill and how to get there. So like I said at the very beginning of the level, some backtracking for all the kills is needed, but thankfully these guys are not placed in such a way where you would need to, you know, essentially repeat the whole level for all the kills. Or anything brutal like that. Okay, it is very forgiving in this regard, and I truly appreciate that. Okay, and now I feel like I've mastered these jumps at this point, but they still make me nervous because of the angles and height differences and not being able to use perfect setup because overjumping will lead us back into water, that sort of thing. Whoa! Oh my god, sorry guys if you're using headphones, but this literally made me poop my pants. He was here the entire time, just lurking in shadows. This is terrifying. Wait, which one are you? Are you the same one? Oh no, there he is. Okay, guys, we did it. We never ever need to go back. Lost souls are not forgiven this time. Let us scoop up the final 2 kills of the level next to the water tower attached to the camp. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to enter the short crawl space and tunnel again, but it's all for a good cause. Nothing like killing a few crazies, right? The way I see it, if they're not hurting anyone, awesome, you do you. But they wanted to bash Lara's skull in, and that is unforgivable. To be fair, I'm saying it like, if they were peaceful, I would not try to kill them all for the kill statistic. I absolutely would. You know me at this point. But there you have it. Okay. And now... let's again do what I'm absolutely terrified of, and that is to make an angular ladder grab. I have this really strong memory when I tried to do this in Barking Monastery, in our original Tomb Raider 2 Let's Play from 2014, or early 15, where it just didn't work, and I lost what felt like 45 minutes of progress. Ever since then, I see these kinds of jumps, and I'm like, I don't like this. Okay. And now, let's make it safely, back to the camp. You know the path at this point, but just in case you forgot, or perhaps the level was a bit overwhelming, I want to show this to you again. The backtracking will get way more confusing in the next level, for a worthwhile secret, however, and a couple of kills. But yeah, this is essentially it. We are back at the camp. Unfortunately, we do not trigger the cool Tomb Raider 3 military theme. Anyway, we need to go back to the water tower. Remember, from its top, we made a jump into the camp over the fence, but unfortunately it doesn't quite work like that the other way, alright? So, we'll need to use the low path over here to access it through the crawl space. But hey, this isn't as stressful because this time we can use our guns. Okay, guys? Come on, come on, Lara will serve you bullets to everyone who's hungry. And my friends, that's essentially it. Now, we can again make it into the camp like we did before. We can use the tunnel. You know what? I think using the tunnel is the smarter course of action. Let me light up a flare here, just as an extra measure, because making it over that fence did cost us some health damage, right? And in case you find yourself in this situation with way lower health than I do, and that would prove to be lethal, I just want to show you, no, there is indeed a safer path to do it. Besides, Lara's knees can only take so much, you know what I mean? Before they bend the wrong way back. Ugh. And there we go. So let's use the quad bike. And I'm gonna quickly check the stats screen before we make the final jump. Okay. I think this is a good spot as any. So first of all, let me make a save here. And I believe we got our hands on all the goodies and all the kills of this level. But let's put that to the test. And you know what? I'm gonna use a speed boost for this one, just because I can. Onward, Lara. Be brave, have no fear or self-reflection.
You crazy geek freak. What kind of stunt is that to pull? Let's take her in.
She don't look much like one of them. Maybe she's an eco-terrorist or something.
And they wear hot pants, huh?
And there we go. So this was Nevada Desert with all 3 secrets, all 3 crystals, all 28 pickups, all 29 kills, and we have already unlocked all 3 achievements, okay? And still, we haven't used a single medpack in Tomb Raider 3 so far, which is awesome. Although I do find that a bit of an easier challenge than in Tomb Raider 2 with that many enemies who shoot back. Talking about enemies who shoot back, that's exactly what we need to prepare ourselves for in the next 2 levels, but my god are they amazing. I love Nevada levels so much. The dirty secrets we'll discover, the conspiracy theories will confirm. It's full of references and even holds a secret Easter egg foretelling the release of Tomb Raider 4 Remastered, but all in due time. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide helped you, regardless if you want 100% statistics or all the achievements. I had an absolute blast, and also these MPs talking when they picked up Lara just confirmed my theory that yes, those guys outside in the camp are not government workers, they are some essentially crazy stalking out Area 51, you know, and looking for proof about the aliens for the rest of the world. They were not very successful, but let's see how successful Lara will be. And also, I just want to point out a mistake in the subtitles of the cutscene. One of the MPs said to the other guy, well, maybe she's one of the crazy eco-terrorists or something. And the other guy said, and they wear hot pants, huh? According to the subtitles. No, what he actually said was, oh, and ain't wearing hot pants, huh? Implying that all eco-terrorists wear hot pants, whereas Lara doesn't, and that makes her not a eco-terrorist, which is why they're bringing her in for interrogation to figure out what's going on. But Lara does not want to be interrogated, and that's gonna be essentially the plot of the next level. So guys, thank you so much for your patience. Again, I know you had to wait for this one. I'm really gonna do my best to maintain a weekly upload schedule for Tomb Raiders, but the reason is simple. We are launching a very, very, very special project tomorrow on December the 1st. I hope you'll be around to check that out as well, despite the fact that it's not Tomb Raider related. And also, let me use this opportunity to thank my amazing patrons. Blangoopel, Mick, Severin Drax, Enstickle, Katie Danger, and Pooh the 2. Thank you guys so much for being my Winstons and for cooling Lara off in the hot desert sun. I would also like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Michael McConkey, Karavetu, and Renegade Durney. Thank you guys so much for your support and also for mending Lara's broken bones and fixing her dislocated joints after the little quad bike stunt she pulled off. Talking about the quad bike, I would like to give a special thanks to my veteran Winstons, Andrea Pavelianity and Alexander. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and to you, Andrea, for revving up the engine of the quad bike. You did well, just like in River Ganges, and it pulled us across into a very forbidden area. And to you, Alexander, for dropping a care package containing Uzis for us in this level. Now, unfortunately, we did not get to enjoy them, and they have now been taken away from Lara. But we're gonna get to those Uzis later on and make every single bullet count. This I promise to you. And finally, I would like to give a very, very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your generous and long support of the channel, and also specifically in this level for using your powers to freeze the fighter jets. Not only did Lara not get shot as a result of taking naughty pictures of the forbidden area, but also we were able to take some really cool shots of the fighter jets themselves. So thank you so much for that. These will be truly memorable with a permanent place in the photo album. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members as well as to you guys for watching. I love the Nevada desert level and I really hope it showed in this video. Like I said, I was thinking about it that maybe it's my most favorite level of Tomb Raider 3, but no. I'm thinking of one that really tops it in every category, and I can't wait to also play that one. Now, thank you again for your patience, and like I explained before, that's because I'm working on an entirely separate project and it will launch tomorrow. If you're open to also watching something that's not Tomb Raider related, please stay tuned for what's gonna come out, and I think you're gonna have an absolute blast. If you love Tomb Raider games, you're gonna absolutely love the game that I cover, although it's a bit on the easier side compared to Tomb Raiders. Nevertheless, I hope to also see you there tomorrow, and don't worry, you will have another Tomb Raider video to look forward to next week, where we'll try to break out of, since we already successfully broke into, a high security compound. And until then, I wish you all happy raiding.